Good afternoon. It's 1:20 p.m. and I am just now sitting down to talk to the camera and record a new video for this week. Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Allie. If you're not, thanks for coming back. And if you're not new, then you probably know about my struggles with PCOS. I've shared a little bit about them before, and it's definitely something that I'm still getting accustomed to. It's been quite a big change happening in the last, I'd say, like 3 years. A lot of symptoms that I didn't have before have been coming on, and it's not fun. It's really not fun at all, actually. And so today we are going to continue our Glow Up series. So thank you for being here, and let's talk a little bit about one of the main areas that we, as in Tucker and I, need help on. Okay, so today we're going to be ordering from Factor. I've actually never ordered from Factor before. Wait, is that true? I may have ordered once. For some reason, I feel like I did order once, or my sister did and I ate hers. I don't know. I have tried it before though, I think. I don't remember when, where, how, but we are going to be doing that for the next week of meals, I guess. But that delivery will only happen on Sunday. I will show you which meals we picked. It was very easy. I used Kylie Holbeck's code, 50% off. And so because of the 50% off, we did go for the 18 meals per week prep, which means that we each have 9 meals, which is very nice. I've heard so many good things about Factor. Not only is it never frozen, which I really appreciate because frozen food gives me major ick. It's also super easy to use. You can pick, like, if you want extra protein, or if you want carb friendly, calorie friendly. So if you're trying to eat in a calorie deficit, which I do believe we're going to be trying to do that. I have to download an app. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but first let me show you the meals I got. Okay, here you have it. Arriving Sunday, September 15th, which is actually my birthday. What? But we got 18 meals and I just did 2 of each. They had 3 of, like, I guess the first few, and I was like, no, actually let's take off 1 from each, and then it gave me like 6 extra, so I added the last 3 just because I was like, why not try more of them and then decide which ones we do like. So we got ground beef and thyme cottage cheese, black pepper something, ground beef chili macaroni, mustard chicken, unstuffed spinach ricotta something, smoked gouda chicken, ground pork tomato something, potato wheat mash, chili roasted salmon. Like, tell me these don't sound amazing. They do. And I saved apparently 18 hours of cooking, but probably more because I take forever. So I'm really excited about that. Now, I do have to say, we tried Clean Eats meals, which you probably remember because that was in our first Glow Up Diaries video. However, I did not love the ingredients in them, which I've heard Factor doesn't have those same ingredients, which is nice. But they just had a lot of like preservatives and stuff because it's frozen meals. Like, that's normal for frozen meals. So didn't love that. Frozen just gives me the ick in general. Like, you heat it up and the chicken like tastes like rubber. So that was kind of gross, but they also were like the smallest portions. So I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan of Clean Eats. My husband was like, let's do that again. It was easier. And I will say it was easier, but I was like, why don't we try Factor? Let's try something different so that we can determine which one we actually like, because I personally wasn't the biggest fan. My husband loved the ease of it, but I don't know that he actually like loved the meals. So that's why we're doing Factor. And obviously the 50% off code from another YouTuber was very nice. So I'm excited about that. Well, let's talk about calorie deficit. So let's talk calories. I've never actually been somebody who thinks about my macros or determines how many calories I've been eating or how many I should be eating. I just never have been someone to follow something so strict. That can be very triggering for a lot of people. So I will just put a little trigger warning here. If that is something that is not going to be helpful or beneficial to you in your journey, then click away from this video. This is only for encouragement and for other people who maybe also don't know where to begin. That's why I'm making these videos. I don't want anybody to feel like they need to be doing it or be triggered by it or have it be something that brings up past issues. So with that being said, I am going to be counting my calories for the first time really in my life, and it's going to be interesting for sure, but I think that calorie deficit has proven time and time again that it actually works if you are trying to lose weight and get healthier. I have gained a significant amount of weight because of PCOS, and so losing weight is not something that I'm like, I have to do it to be skinny. No. It's to be healthy, and it will always be to be healthy, because at this point in my life, I don't care to be skinny. That's not my goal in life. I just think for my health and between me and my doctor and my history, it is going to be a very important way for me to truly try to lose weight. It is so hard for women with PCOS to lose weight, so we're just going to try. We're going to try this calorie deficit. We're going to see if that works, and if it does, then praise God. And if it doesn't, praise God, but let's figure something else out. That's what I'm going to be That's what I'm going to be doing. So I downloaded the MyFitnessPal app. There are so many different things you can do on here, like logging your food, putting how many steps in your diary, or even syncing your steps from your Apple Watch or your phone up to MyFitnessPal so that it tells you, like, you know, how many calories you've burned. You can look up recipes, you can put in how many hours of sleep you got, you can put in your workouts, you can even find a community and you can add your friends and keep each other accountable. I think there's a place for like a diary, so you can add notes, add how much water. I think you can even take progress pictures. So there's a lot that you can do on here. I don't know that I'll be super intense about it, but I will be logging my food intake. Day one, as you can see right there. Got my streak started. Let's see how long we can go. Another thing is I need to be wearing my watch so that it can sync up like my steps per day and all that stuff. However, the bands that I have on it right now is so uncomfortable. The other bands that I have are a little too loose or a little too dressy for me to be like wearing while exercising. So I'm going to order one right now on Amazon. Let's do that together. I feel like I like this one maybe. I don't know if that, I don't know, it's kind of hard to determine if it's going to be like helpful for, here's a video. Should we get the milk tea color or pomegranate, smoked violet? I think I'm gonna go milk tea just because I'm a neutral girly through and through. So, oh nice, I love to see it. It already has a 10% off, but you can apply 30% off, and by now $6.87. That's not too bad. Place my order. All right, that was faster than I thought it was gonna be. Let's change this phone case because I'm over it. There it is. I don't use this one too much, so I'm excited because it's such a cute little neutral color. What should we do next? I need to do a pickup order from Walmart because I just want like some trail mix and maybe some little things to make snack plate from here until next Sunday. I also was not sure if I should start my calorie counting today or start once I get my factor meals in. And I think I'm going to just try to start today, try to enter in the information stuff. But if I don't get to it, I'm not going to freak out and I'm not going to be like, I have to do it. So just ease my way into it for this first week. It is almost a week. It's about 6 days. It's Monday right now. So that's what we'll do. And I also think I'm going to ease my way out of eating out, but we need to be eating at home so that we know what we are eating, what we are putting into our body. Ease my way into calorie counting, ease my way out of eating out. I'm gonna go do my Walmart pickup order now. Hi you guys, it's a few days later and I've just been using my FitnessPal. I always forget, I always want to call it my pen pal, but no, I've been using my FitnessPal lately to record my calories like we talked about a couple days ago, and so far it's been okay. I have been over a couple times. I am like shook. I am and have always been, even when I was younger, someone who like felt like I needed more to be satisfied. So, you know, I've been thinking through that, trying to realize why. I talked to my dad about it, which is funny, but he was like, maybe like chewing slower will help you like realize that you're full like faster, or like sooner, so that you're not like, because girl, I'm more like a vacuum, if I tell you the truth. And I know it's not cute, and I know it's always guys who eat really fast, but no, that's me. I've been trying to really chew a lot, take my time, take a few sips here and there of water, and just, you know, see if that works. So hopefully it does. What I did want to come on here and talk to you guys about was I have been writing down a few things that I'm like, dang, I did not realize, but that is something I really do need to keep in mind. So maybe if you're also going along on this journey, these will help you. I'm not sure though, because like I said, we're all different. We all have different likes, dislikes, etc. But the first thing I wrote down was where I will need to be careful with calories is with all the coffee and matcha drinks that I have on a daily basis. I knew this, okay, because my mom has told me a lot about like the creamers that I'm using or like the coffee. She's like, if you like coffee, that's fine. But I think that, because I talk to my parents about this stuff all the time, okay? But they're like, I think that everything that you add in to your coffee could be a lot less healthy than you're thinking. So when I was entering my calories, I was like, oh, so I do like a pour of my creamer and that's already like 70 or even 100 calories. I was like, that's crazy. So I was measuring like a tablespoon of the creamer and I'm like, a tablespoon, huh? It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like as sweet as I would like it, but a tablespoon of that creamer was still 35 calories, which is fine. That's not terrible. But I was just like, dang, I was probably putting like a fourth of a cup. Not actually, come on. Maybe, I don't know. So that's one place that immediately I can cut back on so many calories if I'm just watching that, or if I'm just okay with drinking black coffee. Another thing is the drinks from like Starbucks, Dunkin', wherever it is I'm going out to get drink. Those are gonna be upwards of 100 plus 200 calories. The second point that I have on here is how important mental health and journaling is throughout the process. So I don't know exactly what I was thinking in that moment. I know I had like an epiphany, but if I just read that, I'm like, of course that's important. It's good to know how you were feeling. It's also good to get your feelings out, and maybe down the road you can see the difference between where you were and where you are now, and maybe it'll help you. But I think that I had a little bit of a deeper epiphany in that moment that I can't really remember right now, but I do think that I'm going to be journaling more often, knowing what my emotions are and like really being honest with myself. Like, is this working for me? Am I getting burnt out by having to calculate all these calories? Am I doing it for the right reason? That's a very important one that I really do want to focus on. So just all these things, but doing it for the right reason is very important. The reason for me has been, will always be getting healthy again, being my healthiest self so that I can have a long, fulfilling life, glorifying the Lord because he gave me this breath, and not just to get skinny, to fit in, to look better, to be what I was before. And that one, whew, that one could make me emotional because I didn't know I was gonna have feelings, but I think that, I think gaining weight is actually a lot harder than people really think. I changed absolutely nothing in my diet, maybe my exercise, but I felt like I wasn't changing that much, but I was exponentially just like gaining weight, and it was like so out of my control. And it is so hard to gain that much weight and like feel like there's nothing you can do about it, that nothing is helping. You're more fatigued than ever with PCOS, so it's like it's even hard to like get up and go for a walk or go to the gym. So it's just all these things piled on top of each other, and you're just like it just feels unfair. And so comparing yourself, or let me just speak for myself, I have compared myself to my past self, and I'm like, how did you have so much energy? Or how did you eat whatever you wanted but stayed thin? How did you feel so confident? Or whatever it is. And one thing I really want to focus on is I don't want to be living in the past. So I don't want to do all this work just so I can be who I was before. Not me crying on the internet, but it's okay. Because who I was before didn't have to work hard to feel healthy, didn't have to go through a lot of sadness, didn't have to go through a lot of questions about her health, didn't have to go through all these things, all these doctor's visits, nobody knowing what to tell you other than try to lose weight. And so who I was before wasn't as strong as who I am now. I don't want to go back to that. Maybe I want to feel healthy again, but I don't want to be who I was before, because who I am now knows so much more, can be more empathetic to other people. Because let's talk about that. Before, I never really thought anything about anybody else. It just didn't cross my mind. I was just like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just like live your life and you don't really have to think about it, whatever. But I think that partly it was because I never felt the need to think about it. I was never going through anything difficult. I was never gaining weight for no reason. Some people were. Some people had hormonal issues that were affecting them. Some people had binge eating problems. Some people just struggled with food in general, or whatever it was, and they were either losing too much or gaining too much, and I never thought about it. But now I have more empathy when I see someone who might be struggling with something. I'm like, wow, I understand, and I know that maybe you feel alone, because it just feels like all the other 28-year-olds in the world are they're just fine. Let this be an encouragement to you that you are not alone in this journey. If you find yourself struggling with your health, and especially I guess in regards to weight gain, weight loss, etc., you got this, keep going. And we don't want to be who we were before. We want to be who we are now, and we want to continue walking through this issue and not walking around it or walking backwards. Let's walk through it. We can do this. I don't really know if anything that I just spoke about made sense, but I hope it did.